Hi everyone, welcome to Hair Tuition, which is a spin off from Intuitive Talks with your host Anamina. I intuit into it, you intuit into it, we intuit into it, we all intuit into it. I just intuited into it and I'm just connecting the dots while also just remembering memory. I Please hold on a second. I think I need to turn on the light. The other light, not this light. Okay, so I think this is way better. Um, like I was saying, welcome to Hair Tuition. On this episode of Hair Tuition, right, I'm going to be talking about um, my experience with uh, the signs of the zodiac. Um, and that particular sign would be Aquarius, of course. So, um, I mean, if you're familiar with my other channel, you will know that I tend to do this, or I opt to do these types of videos like seasonal feelings reading, which will probably not seasonal feelings reading, but my seasonal feelings in a particular season. I do that also, and I like to just cap recap of my experiences with um, the signs of the zodiac for that particular season. So we're talking about Aquarius, right? All right, so it's my experience with Aquarius men and Aquarius women. All right, so who do we start with first? Let's start with the men first. Okay, yeah, let's start with men first. The men are the masculine signs. I mean, Aquarius season is the masculine season, if I'm not mistaken, and um, yeah, as I'm talking, today is February 18, if I'm not mistaken. So I believe we're already in Pisces season, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I've already just started getting into the groove of um, Pisces season, so you know, yeah. But this is about Aquarius. My experience with your sign, where my experience as an Aries woman with your sign or with this sign, and we're talking about the sign of Aquarius. So I said I'm gonna start with Aquarius men, right? Ah, Aquarius men. First and foremost, even if it doesn't jump right out at me, I usually see them as a high priestess, as a high priest, even high priestess, high priest energy. Um, this guy, even if it may not seem very, he's not just a high priestess. Like he is weird. Like when I look at Virgos, I think they're weird. Even though they're perfect, but I think they're weird in a lot of ways. And I'm just trying to keep it cute by saying they're weird. It's kind of like the same feeling that I feel about Aquarius man or even Aquarius. You understand? Aquarius men, like they can be quirky in the way that they talk. This day and age, like the way people speak is all about, like what slang you can use. I call it slang, like the ebonics that people use, the ebonics that people speak, and like you know the trendy way of speaking, like bruh, like this and that. He's really quirky, like his sign. You understand? and sometimes you might not know what is standing in front of you, but he's a high priest type of energy, so when you get into the high priestess, high priest type of energy, it's just that type of person where there's a lot more to his quirky side than meets the eye. You understand? Meaning there's kind of like a method to his madness. You understand? Usually the Aquariuses that I meet, they usually have Taurus or like an Earth sign, Virgo, in their chart, which really balances out that air sign quality really nicely. I think, because I think I have a lot of air in my chart. It's not even I think. I have a lot of Aquarius in my chart. So I don't know if that's the reason why when I see earth sign, especially when they're balanced within their energies, I'm very very grateful. I mean, I'm very very grateful to meet them, and I'm more receptive to their energies than than if they weren't like earth sign. You understand? Or if they don't have like earth signs in their chart. Uh, so when I meet an Aquarius man, a lot of times, sometimes I'm grateful to meet him. I'm happy to meet him, and it's kind of like nerve wracking for me to say this because I've never really been in like a romantic sense, like a romantic connection with a uh, with an Aquarius man, but they usually take me as like their sister, and and I usually take them as my brother too, no matter how I feel about them. You understand? Which kind of sort of works for me, and I believe works for him because his personality, no matter how he feels about you, he's in a way detached. Like you don't get to understand him. Like sometimes maybe if you're in a relationship with an Aquarius, so that's a lot of people you don't really know deeply who they are, what they do, what they're about. You understand? To him is on another level because you're with a high priest. You understand? And he cannot necessarily be himself. You understand? Unless he's around that energy, which allows him to be himself, and it's kind of sort of scary. And it's hard for me to really explain to you unless you understand the concept of being a high priest, high priestess type of energy like an Aquarius does. Um, However, in this age, people will need to understand that high priest, high priestess energy because of the age that we're in. You get what I'm saying? Having to know exactly what the fuck you're staring at or what you get what I'm saying? Because Aquarius is a sign of I know. And if you don't know, wow. You could get seriously hurt from what you don't know. But 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 a high priest, high priestess is not supposed to allow you to know anything. You get what I'm saying? They're supposed to know. You're not really supposed to know in like a physical sense, in like a what's workable for that type of energy. Like I said, so they usually see me like brother, sister. You understand? I'm like a sister. You understand? Um, to them. Mind you, if I've not said this before, I know I've said this. I've not been in a romantic sense with any Aquarius man, but what I usually kind of see is, you understand, like I said, it's hard to get close to him because you could you could really be lost in like his quirkiness, and you get what I'm saying, and think that he's not a serious person when he's more serious than a Virgo person. He's more serious than an S sign. He's very serious. You just have to crack his Da Vinci code, and that's when I see this high priestess energy and also high priest. Um, it may not be right, but for me, I feel a man is balanced when he can really be in touch with his feminine side in a good balance. You understand? Not in a way where it's like it's is obviously, how do I say it? It's like drag queenish. You understand? You understand? Like he's a drag queen. No, where if he's all the way in feminine energy and being a drag queen, and the drag queen to me may not always be like a gay thing. Sometimes overly masculine energy could be, for me, it could be seen as like a drag queen, to be honest. Because when I see that emotion, it's just, it's not cute. It's not cute on a man or a woman. You understand? Doesn't mean that I've not been in drag queen energies. I have, but you understand? Like when I look at a man and I say, okay, he's in touch with his feminine side, and if um, I'm talking about like an earth sign, a balanced earth sign. You understand? So that type of energy, the feminine energy, is something that you cannot. It's hard to get close to. You understand? Um, and there his quirky nature, like I said, makes you just not want to take him seriously. And it's not like you know, it's not like you're not going to take him seriously. You will, but there's so much probing you need to do in the right way for you to kind of sort of get close to him, and you probably will just get glimpses of who he truly is, you know. um but let me stop biting my tongue a little bit. And that's why, maybe. Well, I find out the best way to get to know an Aquarius man is just by dealing with him in a detached way, but also showing him that you love him, but you can kind of do it in like at odd times. Not at odd times, at the right time, and also kind of like be quirky too. You understand? But then again, but then again, he also needs a perfectionist. So you're gonna have to know, you're gonna have to tap well into your Virgo energy. Actually, you just have to be really balanced person or have like a balanced spirit to deal with him, because uh, this guy is quirky and you have to look past all of that. It's hard. It's very hard. When you see someone, you're just like, oh, he's quirky. You won't even take him seriously. But that's exactly the person that you're supposed to take seriously. He knows the way. For example, there was this person, this guy. He was in when I was in college, studying for my bachelor's. Uh, he was he was part of, we went to the same community college together, and the way I knew about him was because he was from the same scholars program that I was in, Granville T. Wood Scholarship. Shout out to everyone who was Granville T. Wood Scholar. They know me very well. They know they know. Anyway, so to tell you what I'm trying to say, to put it into like an example, to paint a picture for you rather. You understand? This guy sometimes, you understand, when he was in class, he was just that person that was there. You understand? So not just that person that was there, but his cheeks. You get what I'm saying? You know, once you look at him, he was definitely masculine and thing. You get what I'm saying? When he talked, he was cool. When he talked, you know, to tell you how sometimes he's naturally, and he wasn't even over the top quirky. He wasn't even like, you know too much of the textbook definition of quirky, even though he kind of sort of looked quirky, but you understand, he kind of sort of looked funny, you understand, but not in a bad way. But we can't, and I wasn't the one that gave him this name. He was kind of nicknamed like Theodore, because of his cheeks and stuff. And then one time he came to a presentation late, and then he had the nerve to be upset about it. Upset when the professor was talking to him about why were you late, because he ran back to get his disc that he left at home, or his CD, whatever, and he came back and expecting that it would give him a chance. And I think he even called the teacher out of his he called the professor out her name or something. I don't really remember. Don't quote me on that. I don't think so. But he was kind of a bit rude. That's the best way I can say. He was rude. He was like, "Oh, I just ran home. You're not gonna let me do my presentation." That type of thing. Where he was, you know, kind of like teetering along the lines of losing his cool. You get what I'm saying? Like that type of guy. So when you look at that type of guy, you understand then how he was just there and didn't look like he participated too much except for just be cool. You get what I'm saying? Okay. It was very, very shocking to me when I look on his photos and see how much he's grown. You understand? Or see how much he's achieved, even more than me. But I'm not even. I have so much stage fright, so much anxiety. You understand? They know that about me, where I was just jittery and just really weird, very awkward while presenting and stuff to people in the class. But you understand? He was not the type of guy. I assumed wrongly that he would just, I don't know, I just didn't see him at the point that he was. He's written his own book, he has his master's, he probably has his PhD or doing his PhD, but I'm certain that he has his master's. I don't have my master's, by the way, you get what I'm saying, eh? And I'm just in total awe and shock. Not shocked, but I'm just amazed by how well he's grown. You understand? And I think that is the and he is very much well into the community, which is very Aquarian like with everything that he's doing. You understand? So I'm proud of him. You get what I'm saying? But I just didn't see him as that type of a person who will be able to accomplish that much. If you understand what I'm saying. You understand? So he definitely gives you that brother type of feel. You understand? But this is a man who is seriously, working not only for himself, but for the betterment for everyone, believe it or not, or for the betterment of the group that he stands for. And if I'm not mistaken, Aquarius is the sign of the activist, right? You understand? They're the signs of the philosopher. You understand? They, if I'm not mistaken, because of their rebels, right? They are cholerics. You get what I'm saying? They tend to rebel against authority, like how I was trying to tell you about what you know, how he was kind of sort of rude to the teacher or whatever. You understand? But if you really understand the method to his madness and you really focus closely, you understand, in an interesting way, he would shock you because he does not draw attention to himself like that. You get what I'm saying? He's the total opposite of Leo, right? Leo is the opposite sign of Aquarius. So this is not the sign that really wants attention like that, unless if they're affected or afflicted or possessed or influenced by the Leo or other factors in their chart that would, you know, that will make them that way, that will present them that way. But does it mean that there are Aquariuses that don't like attention? They do, but not in like a Leo way. And to be honest, if I want to answer that question correctly, I don't think Aquarius is really like attention. They don't. That's just not the way that they move. Like, if you really know, that's not the way they move. They're just quirky. They're just quirky. They're just quirky. Usually, they gain attention because they could be rude and disrespectful or something like that. They're very disrespectful, and that's for the men, the women. We're in the Aquarian age where people don't value that respect. Like, a lot of people, they don't value that respect. It's only, and it's kind of like contradictory. Like, you understand, where people, they don't value the respect, but they want you to respect their ego. It's kind of like, where I think so. Maybe I'm not explaining it right. I'm not that type of girl, but uh, yeah, he will shock you with what he has achieved or what he's working on. He is just almost like a book that you need to read, but he's not an open book. And for for some reason, you may not look at him as a book because he may look as if he's like a and like he will kind of look like a planner book, like a diary type of book that you don't really feel the need to open. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, um, you kind of have to kind of learn how to get into his world without getting attached to him. I think that's the best way to deal with a this thing. An Aquarius man or an Aquarius in general, because once you get attached, you're gonna be you're gonna be highly disappointed. But if you respect the way he moves and respect the person that he is and have true understanding of him, or at least be willing to understand how he moves, it will benefit you a whole lot. It will benefit you a whole lot. Um, I think they make the best friends. Those type of people who would tell you, if you ask for their advice, they will tell you exactly what you need to hear. Um, and this is where he can be really mean or appear to be really mean at all times. You understand? He's trying to check you. It's just like he will give you a reality check, because as quirky as he is, this guy is, what I've noticed about him, he's very disciplined. He's very disciplined. So you understand? So he will kind of like remind you of like a Virgo a bit, because there's a way he moves. It's just a bit quirky, and he's just quirky. Virgo too is kind of sort of quirky. But anyway, um, he's gonna try to make you feel as though he doesn't really care, he doesn't have a heart, which is why you must approach him in like a friendly way, like the homie, or like a sister, a friend. You understand? That way he can really open up to you. He can open up to you in ways where you know, um, where he seems fit. You understand? And he's not going. He probably wouldn't open up to you in the most obvious ways. You have to almost watch him. You understand? Just watch how he moves. You get what I'm saying? And learn and learn and learn so that you can hang. You get what I'm saying? So if I so what else do I have to say about him? Yeah, be his friend. Um, if you want to get close to him, like I said, that is going to be a slippery slope because you can never really get close to him. He's a high priestess. He's a high priest. So I think that's it for the man. Uh, but before I move on forward, because I'll just keep on dancing around. Uh, in order for you to survive around that Aquarius man, you have to have your wits about you. But however, don't be disrespectful to him. And the best way I can put it is to get along with an Aquarius man, you have to also kind of like be quirky yourself and show a lot of interest around him. Like, um, he appreciates also like the masculine energy too. You understand? He definitely like loves the feminine energy also. This guy is kind of like hard to understand, but he's not. He can be very traditional, kind of like the Leo. He wants that woman that will, be disciplined, know her place. You understand? Because this man, no matter how much he is in touch with his feminine side, he knows how to be his masculine self, and it's not a faking type of thing. He's just cool. He's with the new age. You understand? He's Aquarian age, right? So he's, to be honest, it might not look, sometimes it may not be apparent that this guy is like an alpha male. You understand? And he needs to be in charge and all that type of stuff. But I guess that's going deeper, into his personal way of thinking about things. You understand? There is always room for anything that you have to play. You have to play a role to the T with this guy. If you're his friend, really be his friend. Play to a T. You understand? Like, don't, you understand? Be disciplined. You understand? If you're his sister, you understand? Play that role to the T. You understand? Don't cross any type of boundary. Unless maybe if you're his mother. then the rules may not apply to you. You can do whatever you want to do. You just have to study him and study him right. But that's how I see. That's how I see him. Be detached with whatever relationship that you have with him. Detached in a way where you're very conscious of what you're doing. You understand? In that way, you will know his secrets without even knowing. If that makes sense. And you know his secret on how to deal with him. You understand how he moves, all that. Okay. I got this rose in church from on Mother's Day, and it was just lighting in the dark right before I did this video, so I just put it here so that I will have it. The light still works. You get what I'm saying? So, all right, that's all I have because I'll keep doing this. I'll keep doing this. So now that is for Aquarius men. Uh, wait, did I close this well? Let me close this well. So for Aquarius men, what I was trying to articulate, I hope I did, but let me reiterate and try to articulate well. This man, whatever you're doing with him, be by the book type of what it's supposed to be. You understand? But also keeping your quirky side. You understand? Um, and also, to be honest, you need to really polish the Aquarian energy anywhere in your chart. You understand? In order to deal with this man well, you understand? And you will enjoy one of the best relationships that you can ever enjoy with a man or with anybody in in this Aquarian age, in this lifetime, and for the future to come, since it's a future oriented sign. So I hope I made sense about my experience as an Aries woman with uh with Aquarius men. I hope. All right, but huh? Should I? Anyway, let's go to women. I'm trying to make sure I do them justice, even though sometimes it's hard for me to do justice to one of the sexes. You understand? But I have to do justice to this sign because for a long time I didn't believe I didn't understand Aquarius, and you understand, and it's because of these reasons, like Aquarius men especially, it's Aquarius men, like women, I know what's up in a way. Or I kind of sort of know what's up. With an Aquarius man, um, you definitely have to draw from like your Leo energy in the right way. You understand? You know, and channel your energy well towards him, you know, in a way, you understand, kind of like you would definitely have to use your intuition with this man for real. Like you would need to have an intuitive relationship with this guy in order to have the best relationship that you can have with this guy, because this is how he truly works. You have to use your intuition, and the more you use this intuition with him, the better your relationship will be with him. Trust me. You understand? You know. So that is what I have for Aquarius men. Okay, Aquarius women. Okay, hold on, please. Sorry, please hold on. I'm drinking um, water infused with nettle leaf tea, nettle leaf tree, and also nettle leaf tree and cucumbers. And also, we're still on the man. Let's go back to the man. With the man, if as much as Aquarius is a very eccentric sign, you must have, apart from your wits about you, because he can deal with your quirky self even if you don't have your wits about you, because he knows you have your wits about you. It's just that this is the most important thing I need to tell you. The most important thing you need to know when dealing with Aquarius man is tradition. So the most important thing is you have to reach into your Leo side of you, the core of your spirit of what a Leo represents, and use it in the Aquarian way, you know, and then you have a good Aquarian age, and you will certainly have a great relationship with an Aquarius man. You understand? Uh, you know, so definitely have culture. And to be honest, I'm just saying in a different way what I've said before. Be disciplined when you're dealing with this type of man. You understand? He's gonna, like, if you come from like a culture that shows respect, show that to the T. Show he's a sign of, I know he wants to know about you. So be your true authentic self. You understand? Be your true authentic self. You understand? And he will love you, and he'll be able to help you become a better you. You understand? So having your wits about yourself is being highly cultured, or at least knowing about your culture. You understand? Knowing something that makes you a seasoned, do you understand? A seasoned person, a seasoned student to him, because he's a philosopher. You understand? He's learning, but he's also the teacher. He's also the higher. He is in the higher ups. You get what I'm saying? You must respect him, and you must respect his way. You understand? And that is part of like showing him your culture. You understand? Showing him your culture. You understand? Which will enrich him, because he's kind of sort of like he's actually a universal type of person, and that's how he deals with things. He will know a lot of stuff. He will know about a lot of stuff, and be into some things about the occult. He will have occultic knowledge and whatnot, or whatever it is. You understand? He will have knowledge. Period. So that's what I have about. That's my experience with, as an Aries woman with an Aquarius man. So let's move to the women. Once again, I have to drink water. Okay, so I'm drinking tea. Okay, this is cold and all that. Okay, so what's this? Please, I advise you, when you drink water, especially if you have like an acidic, um, if you have an acidic body, composition or something like that. You understand? Drink alkaline water. Drink water with that is infused with fruits. You understand? find yourself drinking smoothies, veggies, like smoothies, juicing, things of that nature. All right, so let's go to the women. So what do I start? What do I start with? My experience as an Aquarius woman with no, my experience as an Aries woman with an Aquarius woman or Aquarius women. Of course, when you see this Aquarius woman, um, she appears to be a lot stronger than she actually is. That's how I feel. She's definitely strong. Don't get it twisted. And that's another thing, you can get it twisted. I'm just saying, like a little bit with her emotions, because she's so the types that I've met. She's so ego filled. So she and see now, I mine not node is in Aquarius, so I know what I'm talking about, or I think I know at least. Anyway, I'm okay. She she how do I say this? Yeah, she's definitely high priestess energy, right? She is. You understand? And she is almost apparent when you see her, but to the degree of how much she is a high priestess, it's hard for people to comprehend sometimes because of the way that she acts and the way people respond to her energy. What is a high priestess energy, right? Okay, to explain it in layman's terms, I don't even want to use the book. You understand? But you have to use the book, right? Once you think about a high priestess card, okay, things that should come to your mind: someone sacred, someone is the person that you don't necessarily see, even if you know that they're there, kind of, sort of, type of thing. You understand? Mind you, we're in the Aquarian age as well, right? All right. So it's extremely hard for a woman to embody the qualities of a high priestess, even if she is a high priestess at the same time, because she has to remember that she is like a child, that she is to be seen but not heard about, something like that. You get what I'm saying? You understand? So, which means she is a secret, and plus, because she's a woman, right? She she really, really, really has to embody this high priestess energy. However, she's more to be in like the reverse. She's more likely to be in the reverse when she is kind of like trying to let herself be seen. You get what I'm saying? Like, okay. For example, a high priestess also like, okay, let me just say it like that. She's not supposed to be seen. You understand? Or she's there. She's known to be there. And if she embodies that energy, right? You understand? Her energy and her person is type of like the type of energy where you marvel in her presence when you see her. You understand? That is her really embodying those energies in the best way possible. Okay. So, example of Aquarius, which, to be honest, let me put it like this: example of a high priestess energy, Megan the Stallion, right? She's an Aquarius. Happy belated birthday, Megan. Oh, there was this beautiful picture that somebody posted where I commented on. Oh, it was so beautiful, like so beautiful, and she was dressed in what I think is the perfect colors for what I think is the colors of Aquarius, right? What it is the colors for. I think Aquarius color is like silver and blue or white and blue, something like that. She was dressed in like silver, white and silver. It was so beautiful, so beautiful. Um, it's beautiful to just see a high priestess in her energy, especially like in the Aquarian age. So uh, okay. I don't think I'm not. I don't think I should look more deeply into that. All right. So Megan the Stallion. All right. You know, a high priestess is seen as someone who is sacred, and sacred, if I can say what sacred is, also sacred is something okay that is considered holy, right? And when you think about something that is holy, you understand something that is just pure, right? So, and someone is is considered pure for something, right? You don't expect them to be doing the opposite of what that is, which is totally the reality of what a high priestess is. It's kind of like she is sacred, but then again, it is it is not because necessarily that she is doing sacred things or that she's not going to do sacred things. It's just the nature, the thought of who she is a thought. You understand? It's a mental sign, right? And that's what I get most of the time when I'm around a a an Aquarius woman. She's very mental, and she's like mental, like she's cerebral with what she's doing. Uh, which is why she's usually accurate when she's saying something. She's very smart. She's slick. You understand? And like I was trying to explain something else about that, about what I was trying to say when I first started talking about the Aquarius women, is that she may not, how do you say, she may not necessarily be the strong tower that she looks like. You understand? Because she has to be high priestess energy all the time, and that could weigh her down. You understand? Because she knows a lot. You understand? And she's having to keep that high priestess energy. So how much can that person contain without malfunctioning, without slipping up? You get what I'm saying? So she she can reach into that Leo energy too much in a way that is in a way that is distasteful. You understand? It's distasteful because Leo is like a very classy person. You understand? It's a very egotistical sign, and yes, they're about the drama, but Aquarius is not really like that. But it doesn't mean that they are not about that type of drama thing. But it's the way you do it. If you do it in the Aquarian way, it's good. If you do it in a low Aquarian vibration and or like situation, then it's horrible. It's a horrific sight to behold. And that is what a lot of Aquarius women today go through, or that's what women now in the Aquarian age go through. It's like thoughtism, right? You get what I'm saying? Wanting to show your image and wanting to always, show yourself. It's not high priestess like, but this is turning to be like a high, like a advice on how to be a high priestess. You understand? That is why you understand. Even though an Aquarius woman or Aquarius person, she's not about the drama, but she will create it. So she, in a way, she's underhanded, kind of like a drama queen, a melodrama queen. You understand, like a Leo, where they are similar. You understand, and that's when you know that she's like a, how do you say it? Like a narcissist type of person. You understand, or very narcissistic. You get what I'm saying? Where, like I said, the men are like very alpha. But then again, they're in touch with their feminine side. But imagine a woman who is like way into her masculine energy, or is, built sturdy, and expected, sturdy. You understand? It's stocky or something, and expected to, be in brash energy. You understand that thought energy? You understand? There's a way you can do it cute. There's a way that you can overdo it and be like thought. That is like a thought. Like a thought. THOT or something like that. You understand? Instead of just being a perfect thought. 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 Like I said, when you see uh, a high priestess functioning in her energies, it's so hard to function properly in the high priestess energy because it requires you to just kind of like be to lose the ego. And women are having a hard time, surprisingly, with that. You understand? Because we're no longer in the Piscean age where, you know, vulnerabilities is what sells. You understand? Women are having to be a lot tougher than men, and men are really actually sitting in their femininity more than women. Like, like nowadays, like women really want men to cook while they go out to work. So while there is a lot of gender role reversal now, women are mostly the ones suffering. You understand? With ego issues. You get what I'm saying? And I'm trying there's something I'm trying to tell you. I want to tell you the right way. That's where, you know, the Aquarian age is trying to teach you. You understand? And even though the number one people who are supposed to teach us, they could really have a hard time with it, which is Aquarius women, which is not easy. You understand? Because like I said, the women in this Aquarian age, the girls in this Aquarian age are really suffering in general. In general. So then to have Aquarius living in this Aquarian age is hard to not malfunction. You understand? But just number one, be aware of yourself. You understand? Which they are aware of themselves, but in an erratic way. So it's kind of like in an egotistical way where that alpha woman like overtakes everything. Like when I see the men, maybe it's because I'm a female. You know, women we are more receptive to men's energy sometimes, a lot of times. And a lot of me being receptive to men's energy is I've had to be humbled a lot. You understand? It's not easy for me. I have South Node in Leo, and then I'm Aries, I'm Pisces Aries, so It's not easy. I'm very much Aries, like, and then my my Aquarius is in my fifth house. You understand? My 11th house is in Leo, so I feel like I have to talk about this. This is exactly what I'm telling you about. I want I do you understand? No matter the cost of it, I want to be seen and stuff. Is like not a good energy of a high priestess that is not supposed to be seen at all. You understand? And when she's seen, God forbid if she does it distastefully. And that is what I see when I am around as an Aries woman around an Aquarius. When I see her, when I see this Aquarius woman, a lot of times, or Aquarius girl, I see as someone who has low self-esteem, at the same time is overly brash, or can be overly conf- confident in the wrong way. Like it's not confidence, like just narcissistic in behavior. You understand? If she's not raised well, you understand? Like for example, like Aquarius women, they could have a lot of sensuality even from a young age, but they may not channel it the right way. You get what I'm saying? They may just use it the wrong way, and they're young, they may not know what they're doing, but this is horrible because when they get to be like maybe my age and things, you understand, they'll find out that they may have lost some things that they needed during adult age, you understand, because they were too much in that energy when they were little. You get what I'm saying? So Aquarius woman really needs to be brought up, um, even though she's privileged, to be brought up in like a, how do you say it? In kind of sort of like a humbling situation where she understands, when she understands how to share, how to do things appropriately, how to not be invincible, not think that she's invincible, but how to be, reserved and be in a high priestess energy. Mind you, whether she's a malfunctioning one, Aquarius woman or not, she still knows how to do this. So you will see this at sometimes, some odd times where she she just not the type where you will find out, oh my gosh, she's shy. She doesn't want to be around this many people because she's protecting her high priestess energy. You understand? She's protecting her Aquarian energy. She's protecting her energy, and where she walks to you, and you understand, you get the feel of a high priestess in your presence if she's really doing using that energy right. So um Aquarius men and Aquarius women, for a lot of times they can't help themselves but then to be like smart mouths. Back when we call it sharp mouth, you understand, like somebody who has a sharp mouth, you understand, who when they talk, you understand, is a sword, and we can't fault them, but we do. You understand, because once again, high priestess energy is supposed to be contained. You understand, contained and probably used at the right time. You understand, the right time, the sword, not to be cutting every time. Use it at the right time with the right people. You understand? You know what happens is Aquarius women, especially now in this Aquarian age, use it at the wrong time. You understand? With the wrong people. You understand? And gets herself in situation where she is not supposed to be treated as a common woman, but she is treated just like that. You understand? Because she failed to reserve and keep her her high priestess energy as an Aquarius woman, as being in the Aquarian age. So what am I saying again? Once again, when I talk about thought season, where we're showing a lot more, instead of leaving something to the imagination, instead of being mysterious, you understand? We're showing more skin, we're not wearing enough dresses, we're not wearing skirts, you understand? We're wearing booty shorts, you understand? We are twerking a lot more, which there is nothing wrong with twerking, dancing, or doing things, but there is something wrong with men and women. To be honest, like, people believe women are the thoughts, men are the biggest thoughts ever. It's just that women, as the high priestess, more is being expected on us, and that is why just nature is more hard on a woman, because you have a lot to prove by just being yourself. But sometimes you have a lot to prove, but you don't have to prove anything by just doing it the masculine way. You can just do it in the feminine way, like how a lot of men have mastered their feminine nature. They understand that they're important. You understand? And they understand that women don't understand that they are important. So they take advantage of women not knowing their worth all the time. And they just need you. Men just need you to not know your worth. You understand? They're feeling like, okay, oh yeah, she's gonna get her butt done, and you understand? Like someone last year, you understand? Somebody who was like a friend to me, you understand? An acquaintance, you understand? He hasn't seen me in a while, and I don't know why he didn't notice about my body. When he saw me, he thought that I was growing my butt. It's very weird. He thought that I, I, I it's stupid, and I don't even know how he thought that I was going to even do that. You understand? But anyway, so men expect BBLs, whatever. You understand? Twerking, 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 twerking. That's why men are not even interested in that. They're not even interested in that. They're not really interested in that. So high priestess energy is knowing when to do something and doing it at the right time. And that time it will be very powerful. So you must reach into that Leo energy in the right way, not in the melodramatic way. That you'll be you, how do you say it? You'll be seething in people's misery. You understand, knowing fully well that you caused it. Sitting, acting like you're sitting behind the scenes, orchestrating people's downfall, and or just acting erratic when you're supposed to be the high priestess, just serene, and people are supposed to look at you and follow you. You understand? You know. Let me drink some more water. But the good thing about this, like I've said, as much as Aquarius woman wants to be not in a high priestess energy, be acting like a thought, she's actually going to show this high priestess energy, where you will just be able to marvel at her energy and marvel and know that she's just powerful, but it's not because of her ego. It's just because she is just the high priestess. She's a sacred energy. She's a sacred person. You understand? And she's to be used for the right purposes. And to be honest, she's not supposed to be used at all. You understand? It seems like a contradiction, but it's still like what you're saying. Intuition is still, knowing without knowing. You get what I'm saying? You cannot get to know her even if you know her. You you understand? She's not to be used, run out. You get what I'm saying? Like wore out. You understand that type of thing? It's the energy of who she is. You understand? It's the energy of who she is. So that is what I've kind of like stumbled into with Aquarius women. Like I said, they have the sharpest tongues that I've ever seen. That's also with Aquarius men too, believe it or not. They are a sword. It could be rude, disrespectful, very alpha-like woman in a way, even if it's not really apparent a lot of times, because she has to keep this high priestess image. You understand? She is the high priestess. Another thing I've noticed about Aquarius women, they might be smart and things like that, but they're not usually pure. They're not pure. They're not pure in their ways. They could be too sensual for their age. You understand? No matter how young they are, you understand? And that's where they can even draw into that Leo energy, and at a young age be very like precocious. Meaning that she knows a lot of things that she cannot even know even a quarter of what she knows, but she knows it already. She's well experienced. You understand? And you would like to say that it's the knowing of it all that is sad, but no, is I mean it is sad, but it's not really sad. It's not sad. It's the it's the egotistical nature of it in her that she has to keep proving it. You understand? Even though she's doing it in a melodramatic way, which is kind of like a Leo thing in like the dark side of Leo traits. You understand? She has to keep on doing it like, oh, I know, and it's hard for her to hide it, which she's not supposed to let anybody see that part. You get what I'm saying? So the high priestess energy that she can use is how she can use it well is like being a great mother, being a great sister. You understand? To each and every one around her corner. But what does she do? You understand? This is my experience. What does she do? Sometimes or a lot of times, she ends up kind of like abusing power, being like a narcissist instead. Being a dramatic queen, a mellow dramatic queen too at that, which is dark-sided traits of Leo. But I need to look up dark-sided traits of Aquarius. You understand? This is a princess. You understand now? For me, when I look at it, and with my experience in my life, mind you, I have a lot of Aquarius in my energy, so I cannot be talking about Aquarius energy and not be talking about myself at all. That's impossible. I have Aquarius moon, Mars, Venus, North Node. So there's no way. There's no way I can be talking about myself. So what she needs to do, what she ends up doing is, how, how do you say it? She ends up using her power for bad. You understand? But then, what I was trying to say, if I lost my thought, Aquarian energy, Aquarius, she is like this princess who has to eat a humble slice of, who has to eat a slice of humble pie, or like a whole humble pie. She needs to eat it or have it thrown at her face. A whole humble pie. You get what I'm saying? Because if she's not humble, and this is where culture comes into play, and that's another thing. Sometimes people could be born into culture, but they're not taught the right way, so they misbehave, and it's the worst thing to see somebody who is cultured misbehaving, because they should know better, right? So her parents or whoever is guiding her needs to bring her up in a way where like is balanced, where she knows that she is the it queen, she is the it princess, but then she should also not be above the rules. You understand? Because this is a sword that you're bringing up. So if this sword already thinks that it's it's it, you understand? Is the happening, babe? She she is going to be a wrecking ball in people's lives and her own life. But for a long time, she will be wrecking people like a wrecking ball, and then that's how she self-destructs over and over again. If this woman is not brought up with discipline, with like, you understand, with discipline, you understand it, and she should be brought up in a way where she is not. This could be like a double-edged sword. The discipline, if it's used wrongly, like if you kill what is naturally her, you understand, her sensuality and all that, she's not going to know how to be sensual, which is really bad, because she's going to need that. That is part of her strength and her healing energy anyway. You understand? She's supposed to have all of that. She's just not supposed to use it in a way that does not befit her or others. You understand? She's supposed to use it the right way. She's supposed to use it in a healing way. You understand? So she needs to be cultured. She needs to be punished. She needs, if we're talking about corporal punishment, this is the child that when she's in her ways, in her narcissistic ways or in her alpha ways, you definitely have to smack her back to senses. You understand? You need to smack her. You need to, and you need to be careful with how you do it. But she does need a nice whooping, and at the right time, and start from a young age, so that she knows to respect authority. Because yes, the type of experience that I've had with Aquarius women and things, Aquarius girls, they don't have respect for authorities a lot of time. Usually they are the ones with the authority, and they don't care what they say to you. You get what I'm saying? But you have to teach her how to for her to stay in her lane, and for her to just be a high priestess. Even if you don't know what a high priestess is, you have to teach her how to be a sacred being. Even if she is, even if even if she has a lot of sexual energy, there's nothing bad with it. You just have to teach her to channel it the right way. maybe put her in dance classes. That's the way you can use that. I guess, I don't know. Yeah. But also, as bringing this type of child up, because of she is she knows some things at a certain age, you still have to be conscious about that and allow her to be herself, but still instill in her culture, because that will be very, very helpful for someone like her. I'm very serious. Um, if not, you're going to just bring um, somebody who will just be viewed as a that. You understand? Somebody who is just, it's not a good thing, and she's not like that. She's a high priestess. You understand? So she'll probably learn the hard way anyway, because you understand, when certain people come into her life, she may not pick that up. I'm talking about the malfunction in Aquarius women. But an Aquarius woman who is like naturally established and does her own thing, and she knows she's a sword, but still at the same time she is a family oriented person, brings people together. You understand? She knows she can say some things, but just stays in her lane. You understand? Sometimes this Aquarius energy is hard to use it right because she's a sword. You know what a sword is? This is sword. They just cut you. So sometimes it's hard. You don't really know, but then you have to know at the same time. Use it the right way at the right time. Cut someone at the right time, right? Don't cut the wrong person. You end up cutting the wrong person at times, Aquarius, and that's the wrong thing, Aquarius women. But nonetheless, I understand about an Aquarius woman is she makes me feel as if I'm standing in the most powerful. Like, no, no, she doesn't fully know her worth, and that's the sad thing. But she is a real strong woman who has the power to make things go in a good way or a bad way. And that is my experience with an Aquarius woman. Um, she's definitely smart, she's definitely slick. But she has to do it in the right she definitely has to use it in the right way that is beneficial to her and the people who she loves, and to for the greater good of everyone, not just working for herself. And that's where she's, being an alpha woman and like a narcissist and the dark sided traits of Leo. She's supposed to work for good the better traits of every she's supposed to work for the better good of everyone. You understand? And that is when the high priestess energy really shines. That's when I see that, you understand, that is where it really shines. So this is a no-brainer. She works well in groups. She works well in groups because she's probably part of like the technical booth. She's in the technical booth. You get what I'm saying? Doing those things that maybe is considered for men. That's still a good energy because she's kind of like behind the scenes. Um, she also could be like the group leader where she brings people together. You understand? And maybe she's the one that carpools everyone, make sure that everyone gets to their destination on time, make sure that she carries the group, make sure that she gets everybody, keeps everybody in check, and make sure she knows you're supposed to do this, she's supposed to do that. So she's like in the new age, she's kind of like the mother too. She's kind of like the mother of the new age, whether she knows it or not, like the mother, the sister, everything, and she needs to do it professionally. Like, she needs to do it. She needs to do it like a servant. You understand? And play her part to the T, detach her feelings from it, and be, be purely a high priestess and a high priestess energy. So that is my experience with Aquarius women. So I ended up just talking about like advice. I don't know why I did that. I didn't know I was gonna be giving advice, but this is really my experience with them. So I guess in a way they teach me and I teach them. You understand? I feel like I learn a lot from them. I guess whether knowingly or not knowingly. You understand? Even though it looks like I focus on the Aquarius men. You understand? Aquarius women, I just feel like they're too smart for their own good and they show it. But you know, it's definitely beautiful when I see the flashes of high priestess energy. And sometimes, of course, I could ignore this energy because it could be subtle. It's not egotistical. It's not supposed to be egotistical at all, I believe. So that's all I have for my experience with the sign as an Aries woman. And this is my experience as an Aries woman with Aquarius men and Aquarius women. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for tuning in to Head to Vision with your host Adamina, which is like a spin-off from Intuitive Talks. We are into it, you into it, we into it, we all into it. I just intuited into it, and I'm just connecting the dots while also just remembering memory. Take care, everyone, and have a happy Aquarius season and Pisces season. Okay. Bye-bye.